before we go live in terms of the...
We are live.
We are.
Okay. I'll wing it. Time to wing it.
Hey, everybody.
No rehearsals.
Not
Hey, guys.
allowed.
No rehearsals.
Hey, my voice sounds an awful lot better, by the way.
Sorry?
My voice sounds a million times better than it did last week, by the way.
It does. You sounded like Marge Simpson's sisters.
Are you feeling better too? Or
Oh, yeah. $1 million today, mate. Much better. Still no booze, by the way, Danny. Still no booze, Syrian.
I was going to ask. I quit. I quit quitting 2 days ago.
You quit quitting.
I quit quitting. I put some of the responsibility on Alice, actually. She was actually encouraging. She wasn't doing it. And to be fair, Alice doesn't drink much. She might have sort of a gin or something, but she doesn't drink a lot. And but she, to be honest, she's just finding me too miserable. I think I was, at a risk of maybe punching kids and stuff, and it was just, I need to. That's a joke, by the way. Forgetting that this is etched into stone. If you are a judge and you're watching this. This doesn't count as evidence. I'm sorry. I feel like I let you and myself down.
Well, I do feel disappointed now, but I genuinely feel disappointed because I thought it makes me feel good knowing that there's others doing it now. I might have to have a little. I'm only messing. No, I'm going to keep it going. I've got to keep it going.
You go, man. You make us proud.
I did better than last year. Last year was my worst dry Jan ever. It was literally like 4 days.
Okay. Well, then at least you've done a 4x that. So.
Yeah, and it was nearly not far from 2 weeks, and it was enough where I felt refreshed, well slept, and actually got out, did a bit of running. I feel like I haven't lost a lot, but I lost a little bit of weight. And you just feel like that little bit of edge has gone. So the bit that you want to lose. So it's a good start, and peasant pie, punching babies is a I've never punched a child in my life. Just
by the way,
I'm not saying it's out of the question, but so far.
Harley is backstage as well, Danny. He's asking to be let in.
Is he? Yeah. I blocked her 11 months ago. and I can talk to this. I think I said this the other day. I had a meeting with someone the other day, actually. So if they're here, apologies. Apologies if they think I'm repeating myself. But I said that, like, I smoked when I was younger, and every vice you've had in your life, maybe when I was like in my late teens, I gambled a little bit. Almost every vice in your life that you move on from, you look back and you think, that was bad for me. Why did I ever do that? Whereas when I do quit alcohol for a while, I'm like, I can see why I drink. This is just everything is just so annoying.
Boring without any vices at all, though. It gets like, you need something, because like if you don't do anything and everything, it just becomes boring life a little bit, and it's like, well, what have you got to be excited to look forward to if you can't drink and stuff? So
absolutely,
purely lifestyle at the moment. That's it.
How are you, Harley?
I'm good. I'm still hanging in there with my not drinking. I've been watching you guys talk for a little bit. I can see you guys. You guys just couldn't see me.
Yeah, one of those guys, eh?
But I do see why you went back to drinking. It is very difficult. I'm just I'm on a mission. Maybe when I go back, I'll do like 2 days a week, maybe.
Yeah, I think the problem I struggle with, I think we had this conversation before. I don't drink a lot. Yeah, I don't go out and get hammered and stuff.
Yeah,
I'll drink regularly. Same. And it's I don't like I say, every other vice you'd have in your life. Typically, when you can create some separation from it, when you're not getting that thrill out of it. Say, for instance, you detach from it. Whereas on a very conscious level, I just enjoy having a beer.
Yeah. I like to. It's just to me, it's like you do two to three drinks a night or something like that, right? Because I'm barely ever go out, but I have like 2 to 3 drinks a night at home. And I did the math.
My
I did the
goal
math
is
on that. Like
3.
it's like 30 pounds of empty
But they
calories.
sell everything in 4s. That's a real problem I find. I think 3 is a nice amount of drinks, but they sell everything
The
in
law,
4.
the law says,
You can't leave one beer in the fridge. Yeah. No, good. Well, good to see you, Harley. You're looking sharp.
Yeah, I position myself in here. This is I am. They make fun of you for being in the closet or attic. Like I'm actually in a closet.
you are in a closet. It looks like you are. Yeah. It's like where all the ladders and painting materials are. Looks
Yeah,
like
well, this is times up poorly because my kid is napping and my wife's in the other room, so it just times up poorly. Normally, I don't have problems working here because I don't have to be on camera.
Very good. So, what about the market, guys? What a week!
wow, crazy stuff. Yeah. When we
bounced so hard.
When we discussed last week, like where do you think the bottom is? I thought it would go a bit more down, but damn, have we moved up like crazy?
Yeah, I think Harley made a really good call actually, and repetition, and there is that sort of like six times liquidity. But remembering that our liquidity is much because of the farms, our liquidity is actually much bigger, right? So, six times liquidity.
Well, the metrics changed, so we moved down obviously because we've gone up, quite a bit, but we also reduced protocol owned liquidity, so it did mitigate. But I do remember we were
but pre-farms. If you think about pre-farms, it was much.
It was about I say half to 60% of what it is now.
Yeah,
and so even at this rate right now so we didn't count that in, so it would have been even more undersold. We probably would have had the highest ratio we'd ever had if we were still using the old protocol and liquidity.
Yeah, that's a good point. What about the market in general, though, guys? It's pumping.
Yeah, I saw BTC hitting 19K.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see where the things go because things turned around, but I don't know how it works in the rest of the world. But I think Jerome Powell kind of leads the charge, and I don't know if he's necessarily done. He's not going to stop until he's sure that inflation's going down. We have 6 months, I guess, of lowering numbers, but so it's slowing the rate, right? But we still have rampant inflation. It hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think we've just been hammered so hard for a year, starting from November 8th or 9th of 2021, it started crashing, to the Ukraine war, to all the things that happened. We're all just so happy to have something. We're like, oh my God, my portfolio grew. Oh
yeah.
I needed that.
I saw somebody come in the chat yesterday talking about this and talking about the announcement of the new I want to say tax, but inflation rates. And they told me if that's good news, then the market will definitely respond in a good way.
Well, the general market actually did not respond in the way you thought. They're still thinking that he's going to be hawkish. Traditional stocks didn't rally as much as crypto did, which is very weird.
It is.
Crypto suffered much higher losses than other markets, right?
Not necessarily Tesla.
Well, that's not a market. That's
I know. Yeah. We did.
Crypto's minus 75% from its all-time highs, was, and stocks sort of minus what 20-25%. So
I think S&P is about 25-30%, but still, for traditional things, it's non-volatile or whatever they are. That's
but it was an exceptional pump as well, wasn't it, on stocks? It got a bit out of hand with all of the money printing. Money
printer go burr.
Harley, you've gone back to the 1990s with your webcam. It's like a potato.
You think my head's like a potato?
That's it.
Wait, what's up with my camera being like a potato?
It's probably the internet quality. You're probably on wireless, and Yeah, it's not coming through as well as it was before, but yeah, we can still distinguish that face. Yeah.
It's okay. The worse quality, the better for the viewer.
Nice. Good one, Marst. I love it.
Yeah. There's a question here actually, so from Derek Bears, asking about Treasury reports. Let me just bring it up on the screen because you can always ask a few questions. Actually, we're going to reveal who's on the wheel in a minute. But yeah, Derek's asking about the trust fund report. We just had some reporting errors, so we've been through a lot of change as a protocol. Obviously, with the move of Infinity, restructuring liquidity, and in that move, right, it's like anything you move house and then you can sometimes misplace things, and so we had some reporting issues which were picked up and largely been ironed out now. So pending a final sort of there was a document shared this morning, and I need to just get some headspace to really kind of go through, because when you put something out that's inaccurate, the last thing you want to do is keep putting out something that's inaccurate. So I just want some time to sort of go through that report and make sure we're all very comfortable with it, and then it'll be out. So it won't be long, Derek, and that's the reason why. We're always. I think what's very different about MDB is that generally we don't. If it's not good, it's not good. We're in the game of investing, which brings a lot of responsibility, and that means we win some, and sometimes we do lose some as well. So yeah, there's never any smoke and mirrors around our investment. So it's just we had a reporting error, and we want to make sure that when you fix a reporting error, you want to make sure the next one is absolutely on the money. So hopefully that answers the question. Cool. So who wants to see the wheel?
I do.
A lot of entries this week.
Maybe you sparked something.
A lot of entries, right, Harley?
Yeah. I think it was in the 80s, if off the top of my head. Let me
83, I believe.
83. All right.
That is solid. Yeah.
83 entries.
And we had a good amount accounted for as well through the Google form.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So we've still got this question up on the screen. I want to. How do I take? I've never. I'm good at putting them up. There we go. Let's take it.
Perfect.
There we go. So Master's on it. So spin the wheel.
Yes.
I'm going to do the big reveal then. So we've got 8 people picked for the wheel. Just as an absolute reminder for anybody, it runs week to week. So next week's draw is now open, right? So it's completely random selection. All you have to do is zap into a farm. If you zapped in MDB, BNB at this point last week, you are really happy, right? Your BNB, your MDB has both gone up, so your impairment loss is minimal, and the rewards have been okay because we've had a lot on the buy side, and we've had a lot of buys that have gone directly into the new pool, which then avoids taxes. The rewards haven't been insane, but they've been steadily sort of chugging out twice. They have been consistently 2 to 3 times a day, actually. Whilst not being insane levels, it's been steady. So a steady level of rewards on the farms for the last week. And both assets, if you're in MDB, BNB, if you're in MDB, MDB Plus, obviously MDB Plus is always going up, but that offers protection on the downside if you're in that farm. So it's a two-way street. But yeah, MDB, BNB, strong, really strong. Week on week, I think you're probably looking at maybe, with slight impairment loss with BNB, you're probably looking at maybe a plus 25%.
Ooh. That is very solid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And I've got a little surprise actually, and it's always a bit of I suppose it's a confession. So last week, the gains. Do you remember what the gains were last week? Apex.
The games
last week's trading gains. So we had $1,100. We doubled that as a protocol, so it was $2,200. And actually, we forgot to pump the rewards into the farm. So we, and it's always difficult when you do something on a Friday afternoon, right? It's like team meetings on a Friday afternoon. You make all these big plans, and then go off and do the weekend. But so it means that we've just done them today, in fact. So you would have seen a big uptick on rewards actually on the MDB Plus farm, which was last week. This week is MDB BNB, as I understand, and
yeah.
Well, that's where it went. So MDB Plus would have got a big bump today, maybe as much as sort of nearly 1% in one go actually, because that was it was a big chunk, at least 0.75%, I would say. So if you're in the chat, if you're a farmer on MDB Plus, go and have a look at your LP tokens. I see some funny stories. I saw one guy on Twitter was like, "Oh, it's never gone up," and it's consistent. It goes up every single day, without a doubt, as long as there's been enough reward. So yeah, have a look, guys, and let us know whether your MDB Plus farm is looking a bit more healthy than it was 24 hours ago.
Yeah, the APY. I know the APY is overall, but yesterday it dipped down to the 400s, and it's back over 500. So. Yeah.
I saw it. I think it was 486 before we dropped it in, and then it went north of 500. So it made like an instant shift. But it's why is the APY more than what was reported? We do look. I was hoping by today we would have the APY sorted, because it is a bit annoying, right? The APY can be too high or too low. No one ever complains when it's too high. When it's too low, no one ever complains. Yeah. But we will have it. It's like we've got two things: MDB AI, and then we've got the APY on that. So Martinga said drinking makes you forgetful. Well, last week I hadn't had a drink all week. It was this week I have had a beer. So I think I can't blame anything else. Cool. Should we get the wheel up?
Yes, show that wheel, Danny.
Show the wheel. Right. Here we go. So we got 8 on there. If you see your wallet, let us know if you want to be on the wheel, because it is much more fun, I think, when people are on here. Can you see that now, guys?
Yeah, but I do see a name that we actually said we weren't gonna put in there until later, right?
It's a what?
Right, just before we had the. But it's okay. We've seen the wheel now. Didn't we just before we started say we'll put the person that's in there twice in there during this stream? Or is that my
maybe a misunderstanding? You got me concerned now, like I've shared something that I shouldn't have.
No, it's the correct wheel, but I just thought that Vusil that we said you would put him in during this farming at night.
I meant the whole wheel, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Then I misunderstood.
So I've got a bit of an issue now where let's have a look. Where is it? Oh, it's there it is. Okay. So I was sharing it and I couldn't remember where the stream was. So there's the wheel. I was really worried then. So people you can see I'm on there. I had lots of lines on the list, so I would have been really upset if I hadn't been on there. But the same line for me got picked twice by the random generator. But I think the way we do it is that a line has a mark next to it once it's selected, so the same line can't be picked twice. So this is we got some. It's exciting times. Is Vasil here? Is he around?
Let's check.
I know he's a physician, so
I'm gonna ask if he's watching in chat. There's some well-known names in there, I must say.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, definitely.
Somebody's car alarm is going off.
Yeah. So anyone look in if that's your wallet address and your name isn't there before we do the first couple of spins, let us know.
Someone said they don't see their wallet that they put in there. So I want to clarify this because this is also helping with the Google Sheet. So $100 into the farm qualifies you to get on the wheel. We had 83 qualifying entries, I think. As you see, there's like 8 of them here, right? So each week it's 8. Sometimes we can have 20 entries, we can have 80 entries. So just entering doesn't automatically get you on the wheel, it gets you entered into the sweepstakes. Also, the Google form that I post, entering a bunch of people on that never entered the farm. So I'm assuming they're thinking if they enter on the spreadsheet that enters them into it, it doesn't. It's just so we can put your name on here. So just to clarify that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some weeks we've had we had 36 entries one week, right? Which would be 3,600 into the farms. When you consider that half of the farm is either BNB or MDB plus, so in that case you would only actually get the protocol would only be taxing on $1,800 to give away $1,000. Economically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So it's a bit of fun. You put in $100 of something that you own. If you did it last week, who cares if you're on the wheel? Quite frankly, it's just upside. You are doing very well from the pump from MDB and BNB, and you're also consistently being paid rewards. So like Harley said, it's an entry gives you a chance of getting on the wheel.
Yeah, you can consider this as the cherry on top. So
if we hit 100, maybe we do 2 wheels. What do you think?
Ooh. Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Or we could double, maybe we could increase, maybe we could do something where above a certain level, we'll put more people on the wheel, but we'll also do more spins, maybe. So yeah,
that works.
Yeah.
We do a set percentage of submissions. We do that.
Yeah.
We peg it. But then it might dip. If we have a low week, though, that means less than 8 people, and then people are going to be really upset.
Yeah, and I think that's it swings and roundabouts, right? Because when there isn't enough entries, nobody's going, hey, think of the protocol. Yeah, so I think we have to think about that. But maybe there's a threshold, maybe there's a bonus there, right? So if we get 100 entries in a week, maybe we do maybe we do $2,000 if we do 100 entries in a week, and we will double the number of people on the wheel. Does that make sense?
At 100?
Yeah.
At 100? That's a good target, right?
Yeah. That sounds logical to me.
Cool.
That keeps it at what, 16%?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, if I win, I'm gonna put it all back into farm entries. I want to see how many weeks I can get on here.
Nice. By the way, question, Danny, can you unpin that Martinga comment so I can see the wheel a bit bigger?
At when you
the
say
one drinking makes you forgetful, the one that you pinned right.
Oh, sorry, I need to there's a lot of responsibility. There we go. Hide
there
phone.
we are. Yes, perfect.
Very good. Right. So should we get cracking then? So nobody's come forward for the two.
No, I've seen a different wallet being mentioned, but that's the one Harley already explained. Like if you put in $100, that is not a guarantee you're going to be on the wheel. So nobody came forward.
All right. So who wants to pick someone that they're backing? I'm backing Mig.
I was gonna say Rudy, but since you got Rudy, I'm gonna go Vusil then.
You got twice the chance of being right.
Yeah. How about you, Harley?
I will go with OX18C because I want to add some sort of human flavor to it. So if they win, at least I can celebrate.
All right.
This is true. All right, big. Let's do it. Should we do the first couple?
Yes, sir. Good luck, everybody.
So we're doing 4 spins, 250 a spin, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, is that you, Harley?
It's the other one, no.
Yeah.
Very good. Nice.
Oh,
nice.
Darn.
Let me just copy that for you. And
thank you.
I'll just send that across to. Look, everyone's just a bit flat, aren't they? I'm really happy whoever they.
Yeah. It's cool, but it's nicer when we know who won. You can be happy for a person instead of a string of numbers and letters.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, that's
you.
in like 100 years, all our names will just be wallet addresses like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll all just be robots. So where do you, before we do the second then, where do you guys see the market over maybe the next week and the rest of January? Because it's been quite interesting so far.
I mean, I don't expect things to keep going up personally. I mean, I expect MDB to keep going up, but I don't necessarily expect the entire market to keep going up. I mean, that was a nice little pump. I don't know if anything happened that really justifies it, other than things being really oversold and people wanting some kind of hope. But I don't see any like return to the bull market like this January.
That's okay. I think a lot of it was a little bit of opium, a little bit of exacerbated by retail. Obviously the CPI, but I think the problem will be once the realization that inflation's still high. We've got earnings seasons coming in, the jobs, the unemployment is still quite high. I think once that starts to take effect and that reduces, the economy will shrink a little bit, and that'll have a negative effect on things like people's ability to invest. And I think you'll start to see some money moving away from the market. So I don't think. I mean, look, in terms of where it could head to, maybe the 20K max, maybe a little bit higher. But I think when you move so fast in a market over a period of time, fast move normally indicates a false move. So usually when you get that, it's not a steady build up. This has just been a complete rip to the upside from like the 30th of December. So I'm anticipating, I don't know when it's going to be, but at some point soon, we should start to see a breakdown. And I think genuinely it'll probably just take some negative news, anything enough to basically shake everyone who's been long and 100x's and whatever else. So I don't know, not too long though, in my opinion.
Interesting.
What about you, Danny?
I think my prediction, I think we've had this conversation obviously privately, so you know the answer to the next question. But I think there's a pump at the weekend. I think Monday then is very bearish. That's my prediction. I just see a pattern of behaviour where quite often the big pumps and the big dumps happen over a weekend. Yeah.
It's unusual that though, because the way I see it is that usually it's really the retail investors, isn't it, over the weekend, because institutions and stuff like that they're not open, or they're not trading of through the week, of a weekend. So it's usually why you see.
You remember after Terra Luna, all the big dumps were happening on a Saturday morning, weren't they? I don't. Maybe Peasants here in the chat. I remember Peasant and I sharing comments about, and it was almost. I felt like it was manipulation and really testing people's resolve, but it always seemed to be happening on a Saturday morning. That really stuck in my mind. We had our recent pump when ETH went to 1650. That was all weekend.
Well, a peasant would probably know which day it was because it was him dumping the market, probably.
Yeah. Another question quickly, Danny, before we draw the next winner. Will Speedy in chat is asking if it's possible to do the wallet draw live so we can all see who gets on the wheel.
We could.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose we could. I think, we'd have to think about how we do that in terms of positioning, because I think it's great that people add their names, but at the same time, I don't want to be in a position where we're sort of screen sharing people's names next to wallets. Just protect people's privacy. But we can. I think we could. I think we could do that. I think we could, because that's quite exciting, actually. I always come on buzzing because I do it 3 minutes before we go live, and it gets my adrenaline going. Just sat here on my own like a loser.
Yeah. All right, but maybe we can do it in a way that we just do the wallet addresses. Yeah. I don't know, and then we can add the names in later.
Yeah, I think we already have the names though, so we could.
Yeah,
we
sure.
could just hide. Anyone who's already shared, it's just a wallet address is a wallet address, right? But anyone with their name will just hide. You can't see that. It'd be fine.
If we did it live without putting the names on there, and you just kept talking and you gave me the 8 addresses, I could just Command F over to the other sheet and see if we have any names. I get it done in about a minute or two. We can figure it out.
I'm just sharing the winner because there was somebody said that might be me. So OX.
Where are they saying that? Not in general chat, right? Oh, it's probably on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, the OX18C. So our friend Derek. So Derek, do you want your name up there? Is it you?
It's OX544 who won.
Yeah. But he's on the other one on the
okay.
wheel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool.
Need to get the wheels moving. Come on, Derek. Is it you? Before we do it, we can have 7 out of 8 with names on, and the wallet will win twice. You watch. No, Derek's on and off. Come on, Derek. It's just one comment. Is it you? I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No word from Derek. Right, let's get the second one done.
All right. Good luck, everybody. Once more.
Big one. So you picking same people?
Yeah.
Here we go. Right. Frank was on here before, wasn't he? Frank's been on before.
Oh!
Woo! Lucille!
Yeah.
Lucille, I'm so happy for you, Lucille.
Me too, because I picked you, Lucille.
Very nice.
I can't see the screen, so it might be. It's cool. So what about so Dumpe was asking in the chat, how much is the farm going to get pumped this week? And that's a good time to hand over to you, Andrew.
Okay, cool. So unfortunately, this week there'll be none coming in from the trading, and that's simply because we are still currently in a trade. We haven't been able to close any trades this week. So we are currently, just to clarify, we are in a locked loss position at the moment. That just basically means that we have hedged. So because the market pumped, we were in a short condition. The market really started to rip. We had to hedge the opposite way, which basically locks in that loss position. So even if the market continues to rise, we have to wait to a point at which we think it might return. So the moment it returns, we essentially sell the long at a profit, and then we then obviously that as the market returns back to the short, we claim value on that one. So right now we're just in that kind of lock phase. So unfortunately, team, regrettably, there's nothing from the trade. So Apex has let you down.
and Apex will be withdrawing from the farms. This is how it goes. It goes both ways.
Yeah. It's a double hit. But listen, we've got time on our side. That's the key thing.
You don't have to close trades every day, do you? I think that's it's interesting. I remember I saw someone. I think it might have been in your chat actually, Apex, and somebody said you shouldn't trade every day, and it's interesting actually because how do you draw a line between it being work or doing it for the buzz if you're doing it habitually? So I thought that was a really good comment by somebody saying you should have days, if you're not having days off trading, then you should think about that. I thought that was a really good comment.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, look, some people quite passionate about trading and equally it doesn't really feel like a job if you're trading. But I definitely agree you can overtrade. I think in reality you have what you would call areas of value, and if it's not in those areas of value, you don't really have to pay too much attention. You just set an alert, and when it comes to that area, you get an alert, and then you can jump in when you're there and set up your trading plan. But definitely you don't want to be trading all the time because you definitely have trading fatigue for sure. So it's a good it's a good thing.
So
to
maybe
take.
because it's a bit more, rather than just being short or long, the system that you're running is a little bit more complex than that. Maybe you could share with us, if the market continues to go up and Bitcoin just pumps for the next 3 days, how do you play that? And if it comes back, if we're sat here in a week's time and Bitcoin has dropped, 15% in the last 7 days, how will that play out? How are those two scenarios going to play out?
So when you first analyze the markets, you have what you determine as high value zones. So supply and demand, where the specific candles seem to get a lot of volume and stickiness, right? So markets like to push between these areas, and oftentimes you'll see a big rip to the next area or a rip to the other side. So the way I like to trade is I like to map out these key zones and then counter trend it. So the idea being that once the price action goes towards a specific zone, I'm waiting for that reversal. So I'll scale in. So say, for example, I've got $1,000. I'll use 10% of that just as a figurative value. So that 10% will go as an opposing direction. If that order gets filled and it continues to go the opposite way, as in I'm negative on the price, I'll wait for it to go to that next zone and then scale in again. So the idea is that you're always waiting for the reversal, because each time, if you think about it, every time you're averaging in or you're adding another entry, it's actually averaging your entry. So your first entry won't be your actual average. It'll be where the second entry would be the average of that value. So you've got to, that's how you kind of play it. But then you've got to be technically savvy to do it. It's not a novice's kind of element, but if the trade does start to go away from you, as in it's the momentum's there, like what we've seen with this pump as an example, you can hedge, which is to say, okay, there's a clear momentum in the move to the opposite way, and you're going to go with your pants down. So when you hedge, you basically do the opposite. So if you're in a short and you're in negative equity, you then long. But you long to the same amount. So if you're short to 2 Bitcoin, you long 2 Bitcoin, and that kind of locks in that loss. So irrespective of which way the market goes at that point, that loss will always be the same. So as the price starts to move up, remember, you were gaining from the long, but you're losing from the short. When it hits another key level further up the field where you want it to hit, you then take advantage of that long, you sell it, and then you add to your short on the pretense that it's going to come down. So you're always closing the gap, so if that makes sense. You're always kind of reducing that gap if you are in a loss. Now, you don't want to always trade like you're in a loss. That's not the idea, but it's a way in which you can mitigate loss if you're a strong technical analyst, let's just say. Did that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. So we've got mitigation if it continues to go against you, and then you're still losing, but you're losing a lot less. And
well, you're not. You don't. There is no. It's delta.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Even if the price was to go to 25k, the loss would stay the same. You've locked that loss in, if that makes sense. There is. Yeah. You are delta neutral. Yeah.
That's smart.
Cool, very good. All right, looking forward to next week. It's always difficult, It's a bit. I think probably short in the market for me probably is like betting against your own football team than watching the match, right? And that's I like to be optimistic. I wouldn't like to be short.
That's just the way you. That's the way you're programmed, though, Danny. You whatever the optimist. Yeah,
got me. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I suppose if you're a professional trader, then you just it's just numbers. But everyone, it's a different. It's when the chart's going up, Bitcoin's going up. It's like summer, right? It feels like when people are happy and they're out and eating food and yeah. So I like that. So yeah, that's why
we all do.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's get the next two going.
All right.
Can everyone on YouTube hit a like on the YouTube video as well? We're trying to build those socials.
Harley is our savior in that regard, because I always forget to.
Go right. Spin again. Here we
All right,
go.
spin that wheel. Spin that wheel. Frank.
again.
Nice.
Very nice.
Awesome
Yeah.
stuff.
Nice one, Frank. So Frank won, I think, 2 weeks ago, right?
Is it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, probably. Yeah, most likely.
I think so, yeah. I saw a comment in the chat where Frank said it was actually winning on the wheel was part of his strategy this week
Oh,
to get more MPB. I can't remember whether he was talking about VIP or there was something he talked about, and actually this is he's should start trading wheels because he's
yeah.
he did the TA and the outcome is right. So good work, Frank.
Unfortunately, he's not active in Discord right now, so I'll just ping him. But yeah, it's nice. Congratulations, man. Really happy for you.
So number 4. So remember, next week we're already open for next week, right? So next week we hit 100 and we double up.
Nice. So that will be next week already if we hit 100.
Yeah, and we'll do some
Cool.
updates. I'll do some updates closer to next Friday, guys. So all of you and everybody else who's under @everyone, we'll see how close we are.
Yeah. Well, if every VIP just does it once, right? Then we're double. We're double next week. So
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. I think everyone's loving the staking pool. By the way, when it went past 200, I wasn't. You hope you get to 300, but it was really slowing down. And then 300, I thought, is it really going to slow down? But it's moving quick. I think we just had a nice sort of $1,500 buy straight into the staking pool as well.
Ooh, I haven't actually looked at it today. How
Yeah.
much do we have? 307 already, almost 308.
Almost 8.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I like that because when it starts moving up past that threshold, then the people start looking around and right, who isn't in this pool yet?
What's that about? That's about like 38% of our supply, right? Something like that.
Even less.
Hmm?
Sorry, 30. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yes, big. But I think we can get to 500. I think it'd be really tough. I think it's doable. And I think 400 is very achievable. Looking at the OG staking pool, seeing 200 million, that's a lot.
Yeah, there's still a lot in there. True.
Yeah, that is a lot. And people I was looking at the transactions. Some people have started to leave the pool. Relatively small transactions, but I think you fast forward it's only been a couple of weeks. You fast forward 3 weeks. You don't even need a big rate, right? If you do 3 weeks and it's up another 5%, you're going to start getting into a territory where people think, well, I'm close to covering, especially if you're an infinity staker. You start, the price is up 40, 50, 50% plus. Plus you've made back your exit tax. Some people might start thinking, well, maybe I'm going to sell a little bit.
Yeah.
I think my staked is like 25% now. I think my staked Infinity one that was transferred was like 25. I came in with like 260K MDB. Don't worry, not $260K.
Oh, I was gonna say
it's up to like 320 or something like that. So it's getting pretty close to 25%, which I'm very happy. But I'm not selling. I mean, we're just over. We're not even at an all-time high, and we hit that all-time high with when we were launching Infinity, which is nothing compared to the alfalfa you dropped the other day.
How many times do you nearly say the name of it? I've done that a few times.
Oh,
I don't know.
Because nobody knows the name. Do you not almost say it?
I've never even thought about it. Just if I don't think about it, I can't say it. So yeah, I know the name, but
Super disciplined.
I try.
Yeah, a lot of stuff been happening this week actually on that front. I was down in London yesterday meeting new CFO for the organisation, and we've got the agreement done for the 3 big events. Negotiating with Austin at the moment. So yeah, the wheels are turning from a technical standpoint. Things look really good actually. So things moving very nicely. Got a very interesting meeting on Wednesday with a potential strategic advisor to work for us as well. Very interesting. When you've got something that's really broad in terms of its appeal, it forces you to look outside of our little solar system within DeFi, and there's a lot of opportunities. I think we're looking at things like a big PR run, things like maybe even more than one AMA on with a official Binance publisher doing something on Binance Live. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
Very exciting.
And it's all great exposure for MDB as well.
I would say at the very least, you'll get great exposure out of it.
Yeah. Going back to what we were talking about, that's the exact reason I'm not selling my MDB right now. I'm like, we may go, people may get bored. They may take some profits, but I'm like, this isn't the time to do it. Because, even with the numbers you gave on the AMA the other day, right? It's like, even like fractionally successful of that would have a monumental impact on MDB as a protocol. So I got faith in it. I'm not selling. Yeah. I'm staying in the pool. All right. So if more people could come in, or if people leave, that's even better. Right. If people could just, pay that exit tax. I was trying to explain it to somebody in the chat last night. They're like, well, it's like a Ponzi pool. I'm like, not really. I was like, I encourage you to leave because that's actually better.
The opposite of a Ponzi.
It is the opposite. Yeah.
Was I suppose if in training, because I saw that person, then they were talking about pyramid, and like it's not very often you see someone in Yacht Club that's got obviously such a clear agenda, and normally there's just too many gifts and sort of shit posting, but I suppose in training terms you'd call it maybe a ladder, because it's sort of like it's kind of starts off like the fat end of a pyramid and then comes back out, but it is 100% game theory, right? There is no taxes in and leaving only go into the pool, so it's 100% game theory. There's no wandering on it, or there's no LP there, right? There's no acceleration of it's all very true. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Just as a side note, look, I trade, and when this hits the market, I'm not giving anything away, I promise. But when this hits the market, there is absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, like this. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's nothing like it. And it's got a huge amount of personality as well, and I think that's really important.
I can't wait till it's live and we can actually just talk about it, because we're all having like this muted conversation. We're like like kind of, but not really talking about it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I love the branding. I could see that. You could see it on a boxing ring. You could see it on a NASCAR. It's very aggressive. So. Yeah,
I think the branding is very cunning.
It's so on point. Oh, silly. Yeah. No, it's going to be incredible.
Before we spin the final winner for this week, Harley, you gave a prediction of maybe the bottom of the MDB price, right? Because we had that little bit of a run a couple of weeks ago, and it was very quiet, and post Infinity, post Christmas, and then we just ripped in the other direction, and obviously had sort of like plus 50% gains over the last couple of weeks. Where do you guys see it going? Like now, the next few weeks? I'm interested in your predictions on the upside now.
Well, I think for MDB, I think we're probably going to slow a little bit, because there's like the frenzy until we get the next piece of information about. I think we have the branding open on the 20th. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in
So
a week already.
That's a week, which is a long time in DeFi. So I think we'll still have, because we're seeing on that website, the data website, Dune, we're seeing like a steady user growth. I think the MDB 90 pool is helping with that. So that will help as well as people come in and learn more about it. I think you're seeing more people in general. So I think it'll help protect it. I don't think anybody who's really involved, who are our biggest holders, are going to be dumping with things. So I think we're going to maintain and grow a little bit. It will slow down the fervor until we get the next piece. So I think after a week from now, that depends on what happens in that AMA. I have bets are off after that.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say as the minimum price for MDB, the price that you set for Infinity, so the 0.011. I do see it coming back a little bit, but not past that. And then after next week, all bets are off. It's gonna go crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, and it's funny because I was thinking, I went for a run this morning. I was thinking that actually, we have 100. We have a really good spread as a protocol. We have 130 people that have got more than 1 million tokens. Now, how many people who've got 1 million still want 1 million, right?
Yeah.
But also want to have the opportunity to maybe transfer across as well. So it could be very interesting. But it's I'm really excited about what we're doing because it's much more. It's to be honest, it's opening up a lot of my experience, which is good. So rather than not using it, but at the same time, it's rather than being about buying the token, right? Obviously, you want people to buy the token. We want to be positive. But at the same time, the business should be about, driving usage of your products, driving adoption, and MDB is a fantastic sort of DeFi system. But I'm also looking forward to that side of things where it's if everybody uses the platform, then you don't need to worry about whether people buy the token.
Yeah, nicely said.
You might not put a lot of stock in this, Danny, but I think, I probably speak on behalf of everyone when I say this. I think when you can see how someone operates and what they've built already, and you always have to look at past experience, but what you've built, you put a lot of stock in what else you can do, you know what I mean? And given your experience in kind of the blue chip whales, I just think it's going to be such a crazy thing once it gets going. And back to the pricing side of things, I think maybe we see a small dip, but nothing in comparison to what you'd normally expect for BNB. And then once we land, it's just going to go ape, really will. So what I'm saying is pat yourself on the back for a lot of the confidence I think people will have in this venture.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and we're going big, right? I think one of the things that we have to keep doing is when we think about what's coming next and what our strategy is, it can't be campfire stuff. We've got a fantastic community of 20,000+ people, which is a fantastic start, but it's not enough. We need to be in a position where we want 250,000 users, by the end of the year. We've got to think bigger, and then 10 times that. We've got to just keep telling ourselves it's not big enough. We need more, and and that's my strategy going into it. And we've got to think big, and we've got to aim high. But I'm really looking to the event actually because it's very difficult to network in crypto because of the nature of the industry, the amount of scammers and all of that. So actually, face to face, I'm really looking forward to it as well.
The London one, right?
Yes. Sorry to interject, gents. I've just got to go and pick my son up from school, so I'm going to have to vacate now. But
cheers, buddy.
Pleasure as always. I will catch you guys a bit later.
Take care, Apex.
Cool. Cheers. We're going to spin the last winner.
See you later, Andrew. Okay. All right, let's get this going.
You can hear it?
Yes.
It's going to be me.
It's going to be Danny.
Oh,
it's another.
See you later.
Hey. I got it right twice.
Perfect.
So
if Vasil gets $500,
Yeah, that's crazy.
We've had double winners 3 weeks in a row, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that just now.
It pays. Visit obviously had multiple entries because you can't be on the wheel twice. The same entry can't be picked twice on the random selection. So I think that's speculative. I went with that strategy. I got on the wheel, so it does work. Yeah, multiple winners 3 weeks in a row, and I'm really happy for everybody that won. Obviously,
Yeah, he had a lot of entries.
Yeah, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. I amended the message in chat because I was presumptuous of saying you won 250, but I made it 500 now. So cool. So very important for everybody that won or who won. Just go to the ticket. What is it again? Ticket Gateway. There we go. Go to Ticket Gateway, create a ticket, put your wallet address in there, and yeah, I've got your names here, so we can make that happen. I can send you over your prize.
Yeah, big. And remember, guys, 'cause I think last week there was like a big G up last week, wasn't there? It was really exciting, and then I think people got in early. You know, you'll be sat here next week wishing you were on the wheel. Don't wait. Do what I did. I got zapping. I was zapping, and I did a little. I wanted to be sort of across the list, so I like chucked through a few zaps. Waited till later that evening, chucked through a few. So my strategy worked, and I'll do the same again this week actually because I'm a terrible loser.
Cool. I might even go in myself for
anything you guys want to put out. I know you've always got a lot of stuff going on. Is there any, Harley? How are we doing on the Infinity drops? That must be really slim now, right?
It is really slim. I think we had like 5 more entries this week.
Yeah.
It's unless there's like someone big waiting to claim, which most claims have been gone. It's going to be basically nothing. So it's really slowed.
There's only like 2 or 3 tickets that were raised and 1 or 2 that I saw in the chat, so that does make sense. Most people have claimed by now.
Did you guys have a thought on the name, like on CoinGecko? Danny, I know you tagged me in this, so I didn't know if this is somebody want to get feedback from the community, like having it as $1 million baby, or do we change that to make DeFi better if we can?
Will they let you? I think if we
you can submit for it. I found a place to submit for it. I messaged Mina earlier because you're supposed to log into account. I don't know if it's the account that controls the application. I'm still figuring it out, but it looks like there's a way to do it. So I guess before I attempt to, is the real question is, do we want to?
I think it's an ally. I'm not against it. I think make DeFi better as as a
more professional.
It's a good shop front.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Stuff.
All
right. We'll wriggle on. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yeah, have a great one. Enjoy the drinks, Danny.
Yeah. Watch out for that weekend pump, guys. That's my prediction. Watch tomorrow.
Cool.
If it's pumping, it was me. If it dumps, then forget I ever said it.
Nice, I love it.
Well, you only have to share your gains as a trader. That's one thing I've learned. So like I'm doing it all wrong. I'm sharing my predictions. It's
That's where we have Apex Andrew as our trader, huh?
Yeah, definitely. But seriously though, guys, like trading is really, one thing I would say with the crypto market is there's a few things that are guaranteed, but one thing that is definitely guaranteed is that it can move 40% in any direction at any time. And I wouldn't, and I think crypto trading is most dangerous when everyone's saying the same thing, whether it's upside or downside. So just be careful, guys. And I think my views are relevant because I'm always biased towards optimistic, but the predictions at the start of the year were it's just parroting. Everyone's saying exactly the same thing, and when I hear everyone saying the same thing, I think the likelihood of the opposite happening just increases. So Yeah,
True.
be careful.
Well, yeah, I think the real reason the market pumped is Jim Cramer said, sell your Bitcoin immediately. And I shit you not, 3 hours later, the entire market ripped up.
Is that true?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
He's famous, isn't he? He's famous. I remember when he said something about Binance. Get all your money off of Binance.
Yeah, I remember that.
CZ shared it, didn't he? He said it. Now we're safe.
Yeah.
That's funny. Cool. Take it easy,
All
guys.
right. Thanks, everybody. Have a
There
great
we go.
weekend and see you next week.